I am April. I'm one of the riders that's heading up to the North Cape to start the NorthCape-Terifa at a minute past midnight on Saturday. So if I was going to do the whole course, it would be 7,500 k's long. I'm on a pretty tight timeline. I've got to be back at work on the 13th of July. So this gives me basically 20 days of riding. So my goal is to get to Nice, which is about 5,500 k's away. We'll see how I go. Basically, I thought I'd just show you what I've packed. When I was looking online before this race to see other people's packing videos for this event, there really weren't very many. And it seems like there's a really wide range of approaches just when I've been talking to other riders and things. So I thought you might be interested to know what's in the bags. I always want to know when I'm looking at other people doing these things. So yeah, here we go. I mean, the first thing that you'll notice is that I'm wearing clothes destined for the trash. So when you're traveling to the start of an ultra, that's sort of the way to go. So I've got holes in my t-shirt. These shorts are from the local Savers. They're a little bit big, but I'm really happy to set them free here in Norway before the race starts. This particular race is like starting quite high up, like higher up than the Arctic Circle. So it's 24 hours of daylight, but it's really cold. So don't be fooled by this beautiful sunshine here in Norway. It was like 5 degrees this morning. It was hammering rain yesterday. The weather seems to change really quickly. I think, looking at the forecast, it's going to be like 5 or 6 degrees. I'm going to hit rain, I think, at some point like late on the first day. So I guess, with that in mind, and it's kind of sparsely populated this first sort of 1,000 k's of the race, I've had to sort of pack accordingly. So layers is the key. I'll take you through like what I'm wearing for the event. So once I've cast off these fancy duds, I'm going to put some even snazzier things on. Some equally old and haggard Rapha Randonnée shorts going to come on. I've got some Rapha Explore leg warmers. These have been on pretty much every trip for years now. They've held up really well, really comfy. I have a Patagonia micro puff vest. Controversial, I don't bring a down jacket. I don't bring a full puffy jacket of any sort. Only if it's going to be a race that's like, 0 or like 1 or 2 degrees or something like that. Because I've got other things that cover my arms. This gets my logic. It seems to work well for me. So I've got, in this case, got some sun sleeves, and I've got this Albion. It's a wind jacket basically with a little bit of extra puff, and I've got my rain jacket as well. We'll come to that in a bit. Thin kind of beanie, keep the head warm, base layer, and a Rapha, it's a Breve Tech tee. I actually prefer riding in the Patagonia Capel and Cool t-shirts, but they're just too long and sort of too baggy to wear with bibs. And I have brought a pair of bibs for this event, just in case I need it, in case my usual system of bamboo shorts and baggies doesn't work for me. We'll see how we go. High-vis like ankle straps are a compulsory element for this race. So I've got 2 of those. Some merino socks. Got some short gloves here and some long gloves in my trusty Albion high-vis little vest here with the pockets. So there's some long-fingered map gloves in here. And looking at just how much rain I'm likely to see, it could be like a couple of days of solid rain coming. I went to the hardware store and bought some like tradie waterproof gloves for $8. Just a bit of extra luxe. I also have here my Smith Trace helmet and some Bobcat photochromic sunnies ready to go. So I don't know that I need them to be such fancy glasses because it's 24 hours of daylight, at least for the first sort of part of the race, which is quite exciting. The other thing I kind of keep in this vest is like some ready to go charging things. So say I'll hop into a shop or something, maybe I'm going to have, stay there freshening up or whatever for a little while. I've got the socket here, I've got a couple of cables, so that I can just opportunistically charge things without having to like faff about in my bags to sort that out. That's just always ready to go. So that's, I guess, the outfit for go time. I've actually got Shimano shoes, which is something a bit different. Usually I use Quocs. These are a little stiffer, and it's because I'm running boas, I I find that the closure system on the Shimano boas is a bit softer for the top of my feet. So I'm enjoying that, but we'll see how that goes. Moving right along. My trusty steed for this adventure is the Curve Ultra Plus. So this is a prototype of the new frame, which I think is available to buy now or very soon. It's an endurance road bike, which has clearance for 42mm tyres, which is pretty exciting, or 40 with fenders. It has 35mm tyres on for this event. This event is mainly on the road, so it's a fixed course, this race. There are some sections of rough stuff, but they're very sort of short and there's not too many. So 35mm Continental GP 5000 all seasons is what I'm rocking here. Other sort of special things about this very fancy bicycle, I'm running one by. So I'm used to running single chainring for off-road. I feel like it makes sense for this kind of touring. Like I'm not going to be missing the top end. Like descending is resting time, not like putting the hammer down time for me. So I get pretty much the same like low end, same climbing gears that you would get running the smallest 2x SRAM chainrings. But I just really enjoy the simplicity of the single chainring. And I've got the T-type Explore 13-speed derailleur. Shifts really well under load, and of course I'm eliminating a hanger, which is kind of cool. Having said that, I've only ever bit a hanger like once in my life, so it's not a big risk, but I just really like the way this works. And it's all wireless SRAM, which is pretty rad. I've used that for, gosh, every race for a few years now. It works brilliantly. I also have a dynamo in the front wheel, so making electricity while I ride. I don't know how much I would need it, honestly, for a race like this. I'm pretty economical when it comes to power. Like I'm running quite efficient devices and things like that, but it's just always nice to have. So yeah, this is a DT Swiss dynamo. I'm only using DT Swiss and not Shutter Precision because we happen to have one at Curve to try out. So I can't notice the difference, honestly, between this and the Shutter Precision one. It is a straight pull hub, which is kind of nice. Other aspects, I've got Curve carbon warmer bars. I did try running a smaller size, so these are 43s, which is quite big on a road bike, but I find them super comfortable. I did put some narrower bars on, but I just find it's just really stable and really comfy. It gives me a bit of extra room for my bag too on the front. Up the top here too, I've got the VAP Butterfly Aero bars. Renzo, the VAP man, has retired, so these are no longer available. I love them, so sorry everyone, you can't have them anymore. But yeah, they work great. I've also got these Leap components, little 3D printed little cradles for some SRAM blips, so I can change gears whilst I'm in the aero bars, which is really nice. I've got the K-Lights Ultra Dynamo light at the front. On the other side, on the left side, I've got the Cube Dynamo rear light as well. I've got the little charger in my top shoe bag so I can charge electronics while I'm riding along. I imagine I'll be like well and truly self-sufficient for power, especially like I'm often pretty close anyway off-road. So on the road, I should have no issue at all with that. I do have my Garmin InReach. It's a really old InReach, so battery life's not as amazing as the new ones. It's mounted to my handlebars this time because the race requires you have it on 10-minute tracking intervals. So I'm probably going to have to charge it every day, I reckon. So that's why I've got it on my bars. This is something that's relatively new for me. It's the Coros Dura. I just wanted to try it out, really. So I've been using it for a while now. The map screen is much more basic than on my Garmin 1040, but the battery life on the device is like crazy long. So it's, pros and cons, I guess. This is maybe 120 hours battery life, which is pretty crazy. I've still got my Garmin as backup nav though, so that's in the saddle pack there. Other items up the front here, so I've got all of my sleep kit in this dry bag under the handlebars. For a race like this, I could carry no sleep kit. I could just flash pack it, but that's not my style. I like to go camping. I really enjoy sleeping outside. I've toured in Scandinavia before, and the camp setups for cycle touring are amazing. Like the campgrounds and things. So I'd like to, if the timing works out, stain some of those. And with that in mind, I don't want to be just laying there in basically broad daylight trying to sleep with no cover. Like I was going to take like a leaner bivvy, one that you can't zip up to black out the light. So I've gone for full bivvy, basically the MLD Event Sol bivvy is what I've got here, and it's also like it's waterproof. It's quite roomy, so it's quite a luxurious setup. I've got a Cedar Summit Flame 1 sleeping bag. Got a liner, like just a silk one, just to keep it clean, really. And I also have some luxury items. I've got a pillow, because hey, why not? Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. And I also put in here, and this is definitely not an essential item, but I just thought, because it's going to be so light a lot of the time, what about packing like an eye mask? I'm going to feel like I'm, you know, I don't know, in sort of luxury land. So I've got, that's the pillow and the eye mask there. You see it's all just wrapped up, the sleep kit in here. I've got an insulated mat as well. It's like a torso length mat, which means it's almost full length on me because I'm not very tall. It's a Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite. I just picked it up on Marketplace. I've used it a fair bit and it seems great. Off-road, I prefer a folding foam mat, but I feel like I shouldn't be sleeping on sticks and rocks like sometimes I end up doing off-road. I have these brand new Revelay bags. These are the speed bags, which is a pretty funny name. They actually seem like they've fixed any niggle I would have had with the mountain feed bags. They've got rubber straps to attach them to the bike, which is pretty cool. And they are a thinner fabric, so they won't sort of get soggy and retain like water like the old ones did. I keep a spork in here, as well as obviously all my snacks. I've got my chain lube up front. I'll put my toothbrush up front as well. I've got a little cable lock, sunblock, but yeah, the rest is like snackland. Tailfin flip lid top tube bag. I have an electric mini pump in here. I've got a ratchet set and a multi-tool, like quite a hefty bit of kit. And I've also got like a spare actress battery, water purification tablets, you know, lip balm, caffeine tablets. Anything that I might need ready access to is just sitting right there. I carry that electric mini pump basically in case I need to like reseat tubeless or just give a quick blast of air. It just saves me the faff of standing there with a pump. I also carry a pump though, just to be clear, like I wouldn't risk it with one of those little pumps, as good as they are. Like once it goes flat, if you know, use your charge or whatever, you'd be in trouble. Not worth it. I'm set up tubeless as well, so I can use the electric pump to reseat that if I needed to. It's pretty great. In the back here, I've got my rain gear. So I've got a Gore Bikewear Shake Dry jacket and Zipax Vertice rain pants. I wasn't going to bring full length pants, but I just feel like it can get really wet for a long time up here, so I just want to be cozy. Spare layers, so I've got these Rafa Breve bibs in here in case I need them. I've got a long sleeve merino t-shirt to sleep in, fluffy smart wool socks, then a spare pair of those bamboo boxes that I like so much, which is really, honestly like probably more than I need, but it just seems like I don't know, like a good amount of things. Like I should have something cozy and dry to put on. Just makes me feel a bit human, you know, having some of these extra bits and pieces to put on if I'm feeling a bit feral. Toiletries. So I've got just some little wet wipes in here. I carry a tiny towel in case there's an opportunistic chance to have a shower, which sounds a bit funny, but you'd be amazed how many, like whether it's toilet blocks or maybe maybe I want to have a shower at a campground but don't necessarily want to stay there. Often I'll just, you know, for a small fee I can use their facilities or whatever. Yeah, it's just nice to have the option. Yeah, I've got some moisturiser in here, some lip balm, and a little tube of like deep heat. Just for my knees sometimes I find that's really helpful. Yeah, I have the backup electronics, which is this hefty thing here, power bank, Garmin, spare set of cables, tram charger, and a couple of spare Axis batteries in there. Feels pretty heavy. I've got a first aid kit in here as well, probably more than what most people carry. I'm prone to migraine, so I take migraine drugs in there, but nausea medication. I also carry antibiotics because it's such a faff if you need to try and sort that out in a foreign place. It has happened before, so I just carry some now. It just seems a bit easier. I've also got like paracetamols and basic stuff in there as well. Yeah, aside from that, I've got one Radix breakfast in there, which I know this is a road race, there's resupply everywhere, but I have some special dietary requirements, and sometimes it's just tricky to get like a proper nutrition. So at least I've got a bit of, you know, a backup, I suppose. It just gives me peace of mind. I've got everything I need. There's no hurry. It doesn't matter if I miss a resupply, I've got something. So yeah, this is pretty much the setup here. Got my tools down low, so that's like tubes, sealant, spare plugs, things like that. Got 2 litres of water on the frame, which I think should be pretty right. If it gets really hot later in the race, I can just grab some extra water and chuck it in that Albion vest. That's, yeah, pretty much a wrap. Wish me luck.